All right, everybody, the Switch 2 has been announced officially. The Switch 1 had like a 7-year run, and now we're moving on to the next console, which of course means more Pokemon.
Hopefully these ones are a lot better than Sword and Shield.
I'm sure everybody's wondering, what's Pokemon going to look like on this console? We've only got one confirmed game right now, but here are 10 games that we 100% totally expect to see with no wishful thinking whatsoever.
Number 10.
I think we've got to talk about Virtual Console. Nintendo Switch Online came along. They promised us all these Game Boy games and all these Game Boy Advance and 64. Not GameCube yet.
Not GameCube.
I wish GameCube.
Me too.
But we were never actually given any of the old classic Pokemon games like we got on the 3DS. They gave us red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, all on the 3DS to play Virtual Console. We could move those Pokemon to bank, and yet now we're left with none of it. It's crazy.
Especially now that 3DS online servers are shut down, we don't have a way to get any of the Pokemon from those games to current generations.
I don't understand how Game Freak does not understand that people will pay bank for these games. I genuinely would pay like $30 per game. Like if I could get Fire Red, Emerald, Diamond, Platinum, Black 2, White 2, especially with home compatibility. They were some of my favorite games, and just playing them on emulator is not the same, especially when I can't move my Pokemon to the newer games. I seriously considered getting a Steam Deck just to do this, but I've been holding out hope for some kind of even Mario 3D All-Stars type release where they give us all of these old DS era games, gens 1 through 5, in one big package. But no, Nintendo, I wouldn't get a Steam Deck because I know emulation is not legal. I would never do that. Nintendo overlords, do not cancel our channel. We stand for legitimacy. Yes, Game Freak, take our money. Coming in at number 9, and I've been somewhat optimistic for these games, for better or for worse, but simply because we didn't get a premature announcement for them in February of 2024 during that Pokemon Presents. Black and White 3, Gen 5 remakes, something is coming at some point. You know they're going to. I personally don't see them following the same remake path for much longer, and we can always expect the unexpected with Game Freak. In a perfect world, we get Black 3, White 3, or something like that in the next 3 to 5 years, and it would be an absolute banger of a game that they take a ton of time to make. Either way, Caden, I think we need some more information about the third dragon, don't we?
You think Game Freak's gonna actually take time and make a good game?
Hey, we gotta get Complete Kyurem or whatever they're gonna call it.
The ultimate life form. Oh, that's Sonic.
They're probably going to give us Chibi Black and White 1, aren't they? Now, there aren't a ton of leaks out there, at least not any reputable ones. And even if there were, we wouldn't spoil anything for Gen 10 for you guys. So let's just stick to speculation for this one first. What's coming in Gen 10?
Maybe Mega Evolution. They're bringing it back for ZA, so it would be a cool tie-in.
Yeah, or maybe an Italian region, with some pizza pie, some proper geography. I don't know. Rome is the city.
Maybe a revisit to Kanto or a new Kanto or whatever, because this is the first double-digit region. It'd be cool to go back to where it all started.
Yeah, like Gen 10 back to Gen 1. I get that. Or maybe like a super Dexit. Like, what are the odds they actually include all 1,025 Pokemon in Gen 10? It would like be sick if they did that, but they won't. We're gonna get Super Dexit.
Super Dexit, no Pokemon. There's not a single one.
Okay, you know what I want to do, Caden? I want to rapid fire some potential game names for Gen 10, just in case we get one of them right, so we can clip it and use it as a short or something in the future. Be like, we knew, Simpson-style prediction.
Okay, I'm ready.
Pokemon 1 and Pokemon 0, because, 10.
How about Pokemon Red 10 and Blue 10? Because 10.
Pokemon R and B, because it's red and blue, but with like a smooth vibe,
Okay. How about Pokemon Topaz and Coral? Because like gems, I guess?
They haven't used those yet. Ooh. Pokemon Crimson and Pokemon Azure, because it's red and blue, but with like a fancy kind of undertone to it.
Okay, Trev, hear me out here, okay? Pokemon Ben 10. Boom.
Okay, and now for the Hopium, starting with number 7. You ready for this? PokePark 3.
Whoa.
Okay, this franchise is apparently afflicted with the Valve curse, never to see a third iteration come to light. And unfortunately, it's gotta be stuck in the minds of some poor Game Freak intern that's wanted to make this game for like 12 years. There must be some intern drowning in Dexet complaints, thinking about how simple it would be to just run around with his Pikachu playing mini games. It might never come to be, but I believe. I am a sucker for a good RPG with an upgrade system. You know, running around and upgrading Pikachu's HP and Chase Move and Iron Tail. It was sick.
No, Trevor, you're a sucker for games you grew up with because you have rose-tinted glasses.
Hey, objectively, PokePark was a banger.
It was a banger.
Tell me this open world in like PokePark 1 and 2 were not better than what we've gotten recently.
PokePark is definitely a better game than Sword and Shield. The trees actually looked good for the time.
And hey, this was one of Seth's favorite games.
It was one of Seth's favorite games. Yeah.
Shout out my boy, Seth. Okay, you ready for a banger? Number 6. This would be the 20th anniversary of these games. November 17th, 2025, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Listen, I am not the biggest Mystery Dungeon fan, but a simple yet effective bundle of all the Mystery Dungeon games would be kind of sick. Available to play on either Switch or Switch Online. Again, as like a Mario 3D All-Stars type bundle. Game Freak and their money, they can just get more money. What do you think of Mystery Dungeon?
Mystery Dungeon is the most overrated set of Pokemon games ever. They're not even that good.
Okay, come on.
They're so mid. Trevor, they're so mid.
Okay, I enjoyed them.
No, you didn't.
I enjoyed some of them.
No, you didn't.
I enjoyed maybe 1 or 2.
No, you did not.
I enjoyed maybe 1 or 2 minutes of 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay, well then you're really gonna love our next entry.
Oh, I'm ready.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Legend. A perfect way to bring back the old fans of a great series that we enjoyed for a few minutes. And the series hasn't had like an actual new game since 2015.
Good.
I mean, or 2020 if you count the Red and Blue Rescue Team remakes.
That's too recent.
I call it Legends tentatively. I think they'll be more creative with the name. But hear me out. If they named it Legends, Game Freak could capitalize on all this Legends Arceus, Legends ZA hype, and have this new game synergize the fans because the Switch 2 life cycle will be so hot on Legends games. Using the Legends branding and combining it with the Mystery Dungeon sub-series could bring the Mystery Dungeon fans to the Switch games, and it could also bring the Legends players over to the Mystery Dungeon series. Kind of a win-win.
No, what'll happen is they'll never trust the Legends branding again because they're being fed bad games.
Okay, but that like evil version of Dialga from that one version was pretty sick. It's like Primal Dialga.
That was also in the anime, and it was way cooler in the anime. Anyway, I just can't believe you wasted 2 of our slots with some of the worst ideas of all time when you cut half of my ideas, so I'm just taking over, okay?
Okay, fine.
Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Wait.
Cool, so coming in at number 4 might be a little cheating because it's not technically a game, but it's Pokemon's inclusion in a game.
Okay, I'm listening.
You know how we have Greninja representing water-type starters and Incineroar representing fire-type starters, Trev?
Sure.
You know that we do not have a fully evolved grass-type starter in Smash Bros. Yet?
I guess now that you mention it, we don't.
So how cool would it be to have the next Smash Bros. Game have Meowscarada representing the grass-type starter Pokemon?
Another bipedal fighter. I see where you're going with this.
I like my furries. But with that being said, Sakurai will probably just give us like Tinkaton or something like that.
Hey, Tinkaton though would be sick. Imagine it would control like King Dedede.
With like the proportions of Ice Climbers?
Sure, why not?
That'd be tough actually.
Final Smash, it just rips a Corviknight out of the sky and like starts dropping things from it. Taxi Bomb. Are you allowed to say that on YouTube? All right, Caden, while we're on the topic of Pokemon games that sort of aren't Pokemon games, why don't you take number 3?
Cool, coming in at number 3, we have Pokken Tournament 2. Some of you might be saying, but Slaks Squad, we have 2 Pokken Tournament games. You're wrong, we actually have 3, but the 2 on Nintendo consoles are just remakes of an arcade game. Now, there are some very common complaints about the Pokken Tournament console ports that I think could really be fixed in a proper sequel. First, the game really suffered from its original story mode. So give us a really good one, kind of like Mario Super Sluggers on Wii, and I think we'd have something quite special. Wouldn't you agree, Chef?
I mean, you can never beat Super Sluggers, but I see what you're getting at.
Also, I think some new playable characters could be really cool. I'm thinking Tinkaton, Quackavall, Cleavor, Grovyle. Trev, you have any suggestions?
I don't know. I'd like Conkeldurr, Annihilate, Golem.
Lucha!
I also think Low Putty and Bidoof. would be really cool.
Let us take a moment of silence for Bidoof.
But also the Switch version still has a lot of players online and a fairly active competitive scene, so I think a retooled, rebalanced version of the game with some new characters would rejuvenate the life of the series.
I don't think I can name a single character from Pokken.
Pikachu Libre.
Oh, and this guy, Shadow Mewtwo, just popped up on my computer.
Both also just stolen ideas from other places in the franchise.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Caden, you're going to have to contain your rage for number 2.
I'm ready.
Last time the new Switch came out, we all wanted a new Pokemon game or remake immediately so we could play it on this sweet new console. And what we got was Game Freak giving us a half-ish remake based on the most popular Pokemon game at the time, which just so happened to be a mobile game, Pokemon Go.
So they're gonna give us Let's Go Johto?
Well, hear me out. Either they double down, they give us a second iteration of this Pokemon Go style game in the form of what people have been calling Let's Go Johto or Let's Go Meryl or Let's Go Celebi, I don't know. But I got a better idea.
No, you don't.
They double down on their mobile game success.
Pokemon Cafe Remix?
Nope. They give us a game set in the Johto region where we run around opening 3 packs a day.
Nope, I'm done.
Let's Go TCG Pocket.
I quit.
They've already set the precedent for this. They dumbed down the battle mechanics. No more Pokeballs, no more battling. All you gotta do is go around getting your packs, getting your cards.
Getting your packs.
All right, time for some honorable mentions.
You mind if I rapid fire some of these, Trev?
Go ahead.
Pokemon Conquest 2. First game was so much fun. Super underrated game on the DS. I loved the Pokemon Ranger games on DS. Trev, did you?
I never played them.
Really?
No.
That's wild. That's how you got Fion back in the day.
Manaphy?
Manaphy. And Fion.
Ranger?
A game that I think is super underrated is Pokemon Duel. It was a mobile game version of the Pokemon trading figure game from the 2000s that Game Freak just shut down without any warning.
I was gonna say, I've never seen this in my entire life. I'm watching this gameplay right now. What is this?
I used to play this game every single day on the way home from school, bro.
Wow.
In between main series releases, this was my game, dude.
Crazy.
One I think should have been on the list. But no, we just had to have 2 Pokemon Mystery Dungeon slots. A new Pokemon Rumble game. But we do it right this time.
What is that, Snorlax?
None of those stupid proto-amiibo looking things. We're bringing it back to the roots, dude. We're fighting Snorlaxes, dude.
Okay. But our final actual entry to this list is Pokémon Home Revolution. Yes, our poor little Pokemon that are trapped behind these digital iron bars of Pokemon Home. They're gonna break free in this newest iteration of Pokemon Showdown, Pokemon Battle Revolution, Pokemon Stadium, all the pros in one banging game. We finally get to use our locked Pokemon in a proper simulator. VGC will adopt this new game for tournaments, bringing back the national decks for at least a few years, and will serve as the main battle game during all of this Legends ZA hype. Plenty of mini games, official tournaments, and more than you can think of to do with all these creatures like Watchog who have been locked since the 3DS era. What do you think?
My mind is blown, Trev. That is the greatest idea any human being has had in the entirety of the universe, other than the guy that invented Scientology, because now he's probably loaded, bro.
Okay. On that note, be sure to subscribe. We've got a Pokemon Home video coming out soon where we're going to talk about all the things we think are wrong with it, give it a little bit of praise, and dive into more detail about this Home Battle Revolution simulator thing that we've been talking about. We hope Game Freak somehow listens even though we only have 3,000 subs. So help us get that number up, and we'll see you next time.
Stay hard.
And happy hunting.